It feels like I've only just recovered from my Christmas hangover and already it's somehow bloody June. We're halfway through 2024. Seriously, this year's disappearing faster than the last few scraps of hair desperately clinging onto my scalp. And 2024 has been a busy bugger too. I've had a proper go at roughly 30 new phones already, to the point where my SIM card is starting to feel like Boris Johnson's Johnson. It's stuffed inside of something different every day. So without any further pointless bollocking on, brace yourself for the inevitable obligatory best phones of 2024 so far roundup, commencing with the Spurty Award for best smartphone that won't absolutely skint you. Now this is always a difficult one to judge because there are so many great budget friendly blowers. Xiaomi alone has spaffed out a bloody ton of them in 2024, including the fresh new Poco F6 and F6 Pro, and the excellent Redmi Note 13 Pro and Pro Plus, which launched globally not long after Christmas. Xiaomi practically single-handedly ensuring that I never get a sodden day off in my life, thanks a lot chaps. And then we've had the Galaxy A55, a cracking wee Samsung phone that won't cost you a couple of kidneys unlike the S24s, plus Google's Pixel 8a, which isn't as cheap as older A-series blowers, but still a more affordable way of enjoying that lush Pixel experience. But my pick of the most not ridiculously expensive smartphone so far in 2024 is, oh the suspense, the Nothing Phone 2a. It's a proper brick like the Nothing Phone 2 and boasts another gorgeous AMOLED screen, a bigger 5000 mAh battery and a dependable dual lens camera. Despite the cheaper price, you still get that migraine bothering glyph lighting around back, albeit a slightly stripped back version. And Nothing OS is a stylish reskin of Android which is less distracting to limit your screen on time. Overall, it's a proper cracking flashy slab, and buying one might possibly make you a better human being. And as usual, I'd like to point out there isn't actually any proper physical award. I haven't gone out and bought a bunch of trophies or anything. It's valuable beer money, that. But so it's not completely crap, I have slapped together a certificate of sorts, because I'm far too lazy to actually post it to Nothing HQ or whatever, so here maybe just do a screenshot and print it out. Cheers! And next up, the award for best good but bloody difficult to actually find smartphone. And no messing around, this one goes to the Vivo V30 Pro. It may look a bit like your nan's bathroom tiles, but that hardware is proper premium, from the almighty 6.78 inch 1.5K AMOLED display to the beefy MediaTek Dimensity 8200 brains that can blaze through Genshin and other demanding games. You got a big old 5000 mAh capacity battery again, good enough for all day play, and when the Vivo V30 Pro does run dry, you've got nippy 80 watt flash charge action to juice it right up, near bother. Vivo has also packed in a capable 50 meg Sony camera sensor with Zeiss processing smarts, plus a fancy pants aura flash that can be hot or cool depending on the lighting. Unfortunately, despite being rather bloody good, the Vivo V30 Pro is an absolute bastard to actually track down. It's like trying to do a Where's Wally in the dark after a dozen Drambuis. Last time I looked, it was available via Amazon India, and there were a couple of units knocking about on eBay, and that's basically it. And the regular Vivo V30 is also rather bloody good, if not quite as capable in the performance and camera departments, and it is just as irritatingly difficult to get your hands on. Here's your certificate, chaps, quick bit of print screen action. And next up, the best camera phone so far in 2024. Now, I've tested a lot of handsets this year that can blaff out a quality pic with seemingly little effort. From the Honor Magic 6 Pro and the OnePlus 12 to the considerably more affordable Pixel 8a. But my champion thus far, and a smartphone that'll be really bloody hard to beat in 2024, is the Huawei Pura 70 Ultra. The Pura may suffer from the usual lack of Google wars, but it makes up for it with some crotch-thrustingly capable camera tech. Owners of kids, mental dogs and other hyperactive creatures will adore the insanely fast shutter speed and impressive image processing smarts, which makes for some excellent action shots. And meanwhile, those night snaps are just as impressive as always, and even video footage shot in the evenings looks pretty bloody good. The Xiaomi 14 Ultra is a very close second, however, with its powerful tech and pro video tools, while the Samsung Galaxy S24 Ultra, the Honor Magic 6 Pro and the OnePlus 12 certainly should not be overlooked. Oh yeah, and the Vivo X100s as well, although that technically got launched just before Christmas, but I didn't get around to reviewing it until 2024 because the whole of December is already blocked out, basically for drinking, sleeping, and occasionally throwing empty bottles out of the window at any Christmas caroling. Next up, the best compact phone of 2024. Now, this is a category that grows more and more problematic with every passing year because frankly these days compact smartphones are rarer than a unicorn's jockstrap. So far in 2024 I've reviewed precisely 2 smartphones that could possibly be described as compact, and even then they're over 6 bloody inches. They're just not as massive as every other phone that's come out. The first one is the Xiaomi 14, a 6.36-inch beast that boasts top-tier Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 performance and ridiculously good battery life to rival most other flagships, despite its smaller stature. It charges up crazy quick, the Leica camera tech is excellent as usual, and besides some HyperOS shindiggery and a smudgy design, there's practically no flaws to speak of. Alternatively, there's Samsung's regular Galaxy S24, a palm-pleasing 6.2-incher, with a similar water-resistant glass design. However, that matte finish means it gets less grimy and grim than the Xiaomi blower, and if you slip it inside your pants, you're at minimal risk of a good pancreas prodding, even if you indulge in some spontaneous squat thrusts. Samsung's chucked on loads of AI-type shenanigans as usual, same as Google's Pixel phones. Although here in Blighty, the Galaxy S24 is powered by Samsung's own Exynos chipset rather than that Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And this certainly feels the strain when you're gaming on the likes of Genshin Impact, and it makes the Galaxy S24 a rather toasty wee chap, while the battery life is merely alright. The rest of the phone is solid enough. You've got a gorgeous punchy AMOLED display, you've got a respectable stereo speaker setup, not to mention a camera that is more than dependable enough for everyday family snaps. However, my metaphorical award for best compact smartphone of 2024 so far has to go to that Xiaomi 14. It's not quite as dinky, but it is the better all-round phone. And here's hoping Asus finally pulls its bloody finger out and launches the proper Zenfone 11 at some point, so we've got something else to talk about at the end of the year. Next up is the award for the best gaming phone of 2024 so far. And a bit of an easy one this, because we've only had one proper good gaming phone launched so far in 2024, the Asus ROG Phone 8, although it does also come in Pro Premium type model editions. You've got loads of bloody spare cash knocking about. They're all decorated with the usual obligatory RGB shenanigans, while the most expensive model boasts a programmable anime vision display on that arse end. The ROG Phone 8 is a bit more compact than usual, although the trade-off is a selfie cam orifice and a shift of those speakers. As usual, you've got the best possible performance right now with Qualcomm's Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 stuffed inside, as well as some hardcore coolant tech. But the ROG elevates itself with an excellent set of gaming features, including air triggers and some clever pants tools to improve your Genshin session. And if you are on a slightly stricter budget than that, well, maybe check out the Infinix GT20 Pro instead. You've once again got a needlessly extravagant light-up design that anyone with a hangover in your general vicinity will f***ing despise. But buried inside that shiny frame is the supremely nippy Dimensity 8200 Ultra and a proper good cooling setup, while the 144Hz AMOLED screen is a proper eye-pleaser. Those gaming tools aren't quite as extensive as Asus's, but they'll still give you a helping hand when needed. And I've done another lovely wee video on that one, so stick it right up your Play Next list. The next award is for the best foldable of 2024 so far. And again, not really many candidates for this one. You've got the likes of Motorola and Samsung and lots of other manufacturers lingering on the horizon with their foldable launches. But until they spaff out their fresh bendy blowers, my favourite foldable so far is the Honor Magic V2, which technically launched in 2023, but it wasn't in a proper final state and it didn't hit stores until 24, so there. The Honor Magic V2 sports an upgraded titanium hinge and a stupidly slim 10mm form factor, helped along by the exceedingly smart-arse silicon carbon battery, which is roughly the same thickness as a dairily cheesy slice. The Magic V2 is powered by the older Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, but it's still beefy enough for whatever you need, while the multitasking smarts have improved to make the most of that big boy internal OLED display. It'll have some pretty stiff competition coming up against it soon enough, and I still marginally prefer the OnePlus Open from last year, but the Honor Magic V2 is pretty sterling stuff and well worth cramming into your jeans. Oh, and before the big climax, there's just about enough time for a quick bonus award. the best stupidly expensive Posh-Arse smartphone of 2024. And this one has to go to the Porsche design on a Magic V2 RSR. It's also got one of the most stupidly convoluted names of any phone of 2024. Now, the original Magic V2 already delivered a pretty swift kick to your wallet's cock with its £1,700 price tag. But if you want to give your bank manager a serious stroke, well, why not check out the Porsche design model, which starts from £2,349. It's basically the same phone, except that arse has been sculpted to look like the hood of a car that you'll never be able to afford, especially if you spunk all your savings on this bloody thing. You get some Porsche wallpaper and icons, but that's about as far as the reskin goes. I'm surprised they didn't have the V2 RSR start off with some kind of almighty engine revving noise to scare the living shit out of any nearby bystanders. But anyway, if you've got sackfuls of filthy money to launder or whatever, then give it a whirl. And last up, the moment you've all been waiting for, apart from the 98% of viewers who've already clicked away to watch a f***ing MKBHD video. It's the Spurty Award for the best phone so far in 2024. My personal favourite, the blower I've enjoyed having stashed in my pants more than any other so far. And once again, gotta say, it is a proper toughie, right up there with which is the best My Little Pony. I mean, it's got to be Pinkie Pie, right? Because let's face it, if any of these fluffy wee bastards are going to smash a keg and then karaoke the entire Master of Puppets album, it's probably her. Now, this year has seen dozens of excellent new blowers hit the UK, but out of all of them, the one I've enjoyed the most has been the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. Yes, it is stupidly expensive, but it is stupidly expensive for a reason, and that reason is that it slams harder than your mum after a pint of Malibu. Feel free to use that for the poster, Xiaomi. And the 14 Ultra might be ridiculously massive, unlike the regular Xiaomi 14, but it is packed to the pits with proper premium tech, including a camera to rival that Huawei Pura. But unlike Huawei's handset, you've got full Google action here, along with some handy HyperOS bonus bits. Whether you like to game on the go, chill with a bit of Netflix, record absolutely everything that happens in your everyday existence, you're gonna love the Xiaomi 14 Ultra. And pro photographers could even slap on a proper custom-made camera kit. Lovely stuff. Definitely go check out my full in-depth Xiaomi 14 Ultra review for more on that wee blower, not so wee, actually. And definitely check out my reviews of all these smartphones that I've banged on about in this Best of 2024 So Far Awards Roundup. And there you have it, my lovelies. That's my picks of the best blowers so far this year. Inevitably, you'll think that I'm talking a whole load of bollocks and you want to air your views down below. Well, definitely feel free. As long as you promise to poke, subscribe, and ding that notifications bell and all the usual YouTube bollocks. Have yourselves a bloody wonderful rest of the week. Cheers, everyone. Love you.